have restrictions on them. But I just, on here, look, Councillor Ali Gannon and the people of Westport, my sincere thanks and appreciation for all your help and encouragement. And as Ali represents the people of Westport today, without the success, we wouldn't manage only for support and constant help from the people of the Westport area. I also thank the Archbishop for his homily and for all his support, also as over the years, and also for the parish support in the partnership, and to all the priests over the past 30 years, and in particular the present priest, Father Charlie MacDonald, and Father Carl Burns, and all the priests who have preceded them, and to thank Mrs. Carmel MacDonald for joining us. Our guests, I'd like to welcome all our guests, and in particular I would like to start with Minister Michael Reen, TD, and Minister for Sport and Tourism. So I would hope that Michael will record this as the first of the gatherings. So he's very conscious that the gathering will be successful, so this is a pre-gathering. I would also like to welcome Kenya's ambassador to Ireland, Her Excellency Catherine Mwanga, and who has honoured us today here. The ambassador visited Westport almost 4 years ago, and on that occasion left a great impression, particularly with all the students in the primary and secondary schools. And we are also glad to welcome the First Secretary, Mrs. Helen Bachir. And we're delighted to have you both here today, as it has added much to the occasion, being the representative of Kenya. I'd also like to welcome Bishop Cornelius Aror of Eldoret, in whose diocese Aror is located, and whose interest and concern for the people of Aror in Kenya is well known. Bishop Coror's diocese is situated in the Rift Valley province of Kenya and straddles the equator. He is Bishop 390,000. Iten, and as we spoke earlier, Minister Ring will be aware that Iten is located in the Eldoret diocese. This is the home to several well-known Kenyan athletes and Olympians. Bishop Coror, whom we have known for many years, he has been outspoken on issues of justice and peace, and has been tireless in his efforts to bring recent peace to the Rift Valley. We also thank the Eldoret Diocesan Health Coordinator, Mrs. Anna Mata, whose job is to ensure that the highest medical standards and practice are maintained by the Aror Health Centre and all the helpful staff at the diocesan offices. It also, another man that's getting an award shortly is Bishop Coror. He's about to get an honorary degree from my university for his efforts in peace. So, congratulations. Missionaries are central to our work, and the Sisters of St. Joseph of Tarn are the trustworthy stewards of the funding provided by the Partnership. Partnership also remains indebted to the Medical Missions of Mary, who continue to facilitate our visits to Kenya. Although no longer based in Aurora, and still in Eldoret, the MMs perform an invaluable service of chaperoning us and visiting the visiting teams from Westport. They place their long experience, their linguistic competence and knowledge of local culture at our disposal, as well as offering a warm welcome. And today they're represented by quite a number, as Sean has outlined and mentioned, but in particular Sister Joan Byrne, and who worked in Aror some years ago. And I've also, this is a special year for them because it's their 75th anniversary since they're founded by Mother Mary Martin. And Sister Siobhan Corkery, the leader of the congregation, sends her apologies and is away on duty in West Africa. We also welcome Father Hugh McMahon, who has had to leave for the train, and he is most welcome. Irish missionaries are so often the people who have made good friends for Ireland because of their dedicated and generous lives, lived among the poorest of the poor, giving of themselves, giving of their talents, and in our case motivating Irish people and the people of Westport to support the great work now being continued by Kenyans in Aror. I have to thank the committee, as chairperson. We're a great committee, I think. But without naming them, everybody pulls their weight. They're a superb group, and sometimes, I think they tell me a lot of time that I'm a hard taskmaster, but at the end of the day, they're superb, and they work very hard to ensure that this has been so successful for the past 30 years. I thank those who prepared the liturgy, the luncheon here, the brochures, and the exhibition stands. I want to sort of acknowledge absent friends, some who have passed on and who aren't able to be with us today, and in particular our sympathies to the relative Sister Pat Hoy, who was buried yesterday, and Brother Thomas Ryan, brother of Sister Breda Ryan, whose funeral is tomorrow, and our own past treasurer and totally reliable in every way, as Father Charlie was remembered, Pat Cobb's dear wife, Phil, and we sympathise with them. I want to thank all the school's principals and the school's the students who have been so supportive over the years. Also thank the media, all the newspapers, the County Telegraph, the Western People, the Advertiser, but in particular the Mayo News. Without the Mayo News we could forget it, because if we didn't have the Mayo News, nobody would ever know that the partnership was around. So thank you to our managing editor, Nino O'Neill, who's here today, and for your continuing support and all that you report, and those people like Martin Curry and Sean who were there before. So thank you for that. Also, I want to thank the Midwest Radio and local radio, Amy McNally and Martin Curry, and Mayo TV, which is another innovation the past 5 years. Hirish O'Reilly and his mum, Catherine O'Reilly. I also want to thank Sean has very kindly thanked everybody in the hotel, but I want just to reiterate that and thank everybody, Adrian and Geraldine Noonan and Stephen and Paul and Claire every time I ring for meeting rooms or whatever. So just to thank them all very, very much. And finally, I want to thank my own family, because sometimes I get to the stage that there's not a paper on the table or the floor that is from Kenya or it's from somewhere else. So I promise to take them up after this. Thank you.